going on, guys? It's Mike Norris. I'm here today with Derek Sullivan. What's going on, Derek?
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Going well, man. Going well. I'm excited to do this. Derek and I have rescheduled probably like 3 or 4 different times now for various reasons, but here we are in the same room. We're doing
Finally, yeah, we made it happen. And just for a little background, Mike was so nice to refer me to this microphone. I was just recording through Zoom and it sounded horrible, so we had to wait until I got the proper mic in. So I'm glad we could finally make this happen.
Yeah, twins now, man. I think you said they should give me some kind of referral bonus or something.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us about yourself, Derek? Give us a little stuff on your background and everything.
Yeah, sure. So I'm the marketing manager here at Cybba. For those who aren't aware what Cybba is or what we do, we are a marketing and advertising company based out of Boston. We have a satellite office in Phoenix. We have an office in Mexico City, in Sao Paulo, Brazil. We're somewhere between, I would say, a plug and play and a full service agency. We offer a lot of marketing tools, a lot of cart abandonment, email retargeting, but we also do, your typical digital display ads, programmatic. We just got into, what's it called, OTT. So yeah, basically we're just trying to anything out in the digital world we kind of handle. But I would say our bread and butter is really those marketing tools and retargeting stuff. But my role at the company is, and we've talked about how meta this can get, but I am marketing the marketing company. So that's my my day to day.
Hey man, I do that too.
It's it can get confusing. You go down these rabbit holes. It's like, what? I don't even know what my voice is anymore. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, how do you market a marketing company?
We try everything and anything. One of my favorite things about this role is it's a very small team, the marketing team itself. It's me, Vicky. Vicky does all of our content, right? She's kind of the content manager. She does blogs. She's really we call her the wordsmith of the company. Like anytime someone contributes a blog post, she edits it down, just to make it sound clean. And,
Sure.
That's her background. So I don't even try to touch that. But I handle everything from our Instagram feed and social media to now I've started a podcast to try to attract people that way. Just tons of different channels. Anything you could think of, I do. We do physical events, pre-quarantine, obviously. Now we're kind of looking at some digital events. We don't know if it's really worth it, but, collateral, also swag packages we send to new clients for onboarding.
I got to get hooked up with one of those, man.
They're pretty good. I'm a little biased because I created everything in there, but we got water bottles, stickers, t-shirts,
I trust your
socks. Actually,
socks. Hell yeah.
I might whip those out later. Remind me, but we got some good socks.
All right. Hell yeah.
I don't know why this happened. It was a project before I came on board. Someone was talking about doing socks, and I'm like, yeah, that'll be the first thing I do. So I made sure that I got some good side because that's a priority, right? If you're gonna market a company, you gotta make sure sending out good socks. I don't know. It didn't take very long.
Look good, feel good, market good.
I'm proud of them. That's all I'll say is I'm proud of them. Yeah. Cool,
man. Well, Cybba's pretty big, and it's for a little background. We use Cybba for some of our clients, but my question is an agency like us really your target market, or do you go after more individual companies?
So I would say it's probably about 30-70, right? 30%. We're trying to find those partner programs, trying to find other agencies to work with. Just because there are some things that we just don't do. We don't have the capacity to do. So it's nice to find an agency that can fill those gaps and vice versa. I know you guys are full service, right? You do everything. You do branding as well, and you do creative services. We don't do any of that. If someone came to us to build a website out, we wouldn't do that. So we try to find those partners to really join forces with. Just something that could be beneficial to both parties, And then the rest of the time, we're really trying to market to small to medium businesses.
Okay.
I think what makes us, again, so unique is there are some companies that kind of go for a smaller, maybe like Shopify size businesses, right? They kind of have those plug and play, those add-ons, and then you have the big, full service guys who take on enterprise or those big companies, and we're like that stepping stone. So we kind of help small businesses grow to medium-sized businesses and then send them on their way if they want, fully managed service from someone else. We're somewhat in between. I think that's kind of, I guess that's a pretty broad, elevator pitch, but that's really what makes us unique.
Sure. Yeah. Is there, are there particular ways that you found to get in front of these type of businesses that you think are worth sharing?
Yeah. So, like anything, you have to kind of prove your worth in a way, right? You can't just say, hey, look at us, right? There's so much competition when it comes to different marketing and advertising groups and companies.
That's why I ask.
Yeah. I mean, it's, right? It's like, there's as many as there are restaurants, it seems nowadays. It's like there's so many marketing companies. So I think, I would say priority as far as collateral goes are our case studies. We really make them in depth, and I hate the term digestible. I think it's like a trendy term right now to talk about content, but it's very digestible. Sure. We don't get too in the weeds. We can if someone has follow-up questions, but we want to really just showcase the general overview of the success of this campaign. From first initial contact when they reach out, or we start that campaign, to where they are, at the peak, and then where they are now, right? We show where we hit those goals and then how we continue those goals on. So, we have them right now just on our website. I think, speaking to anyone else who wants to find ways to, really improve their marketing for a company like this, is go beyond that, right? We're trying right now to put our case studies into video format, into some sort of digital, under a minute, something easy just to look at, show us the stats, write hard metrics. Nobody wants to sit there and read an essay going over, your conversion rates. It's a little boring at this point. And to be honest, a lot of small business owners don't have time to really go to school for marketing like that. They don't have time to really get in there and understand all the, specific details. So for them, they just want to understand, in layman's terms, right? Just kind of a broad overview of it. And that's kind of what we want to provide as well. Like I said, we obviously have a team. Our commercial team is very well versed when it comes to marketing and what we do. If they have those questions, we can answer them really easily. But to kind of make ourselves more attractive and bring people in, we kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but just make it easier to understand.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, people don't want to burn all kinds of calories and, use all kind of brain cells trying to digest what it is that you even do. I mean, if they don't have an interest in you to begin with,
right,
they're not going to take all this time to understand you when someone else is making it digestible, as you say.
I like that not burning as many calories line. That's good. I think I'll probably use that in the future. But you're absolutely right.
But
okay, all right. Well, then I will not give you credit then, because I don't want to get you in trouble either. But yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like a tightrope, right? You're kind of like balancing between giving them enough information to pique their interest, but not telling them so much that you turn them off or give away all the secrets. We're like, oh, we already know that this one partner we work with can do most of that. If I just pass along all this info, maybe they could take care of it all. We really want to just kind of give them enough to get them to open that conversation, that dialogue more, to hopefully work together.
That makes sense. And I might be making an assumption here, but let me know if I'm incorrect. But I think you guys can work with pretty much any vertical across the board, right? And we kind of fall into a similar situation that, as an agency that doesn't specialize in any, there are some agencies that only do, I don't know, car dealerships. Like we're not like that. So to me, I'm wondering, is that an interesting predicament for you to be in? That because everyone always says, right? Like if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. So
Right.
how do you like block and tackle and segment out different, or do you?
Right, like account-based
Yeah,
marketing, essentially, right?
yeah.
I mean, that's the challenge.
Mm,
I was probably going to ask you the same exact question, because what's difficult is, or I guess going back, you're saying like, that agency that just does car dealerships, right? They're probably more likely to be able to get in front of car dealerships, and those dealerships are going to want to work with that agency
yeah.
because they're not generalists, they're specialists, right?
Yep.
That's what they do day in and day out. This might be a bad analogy, it's off the top, bear with me, but if you are about to go get, I don't know, surgery, right? Like open heart surgery, you're going to want to go to a surgeon that only does that. You don't want to go to someone who removes moles, right? It sounds nuts. Like, why would I ever take that on?
Yeah.
So as an agency, you're kind of put into a similar situation, right? We try to really put our verticals into buckets, and I try at least not to advertise what we do outside of those buckets.
Okay.
CBD is a huge one for us, especially in the past couple of years. As you know, everyone and their mom has a CBD company nowadays. They're everywhere. And botanicals in general, right? Kind of this alternative medicine, very, very popular. And one of the challenges that CBD companies face is that they have a hard time advertising on Facebook,
Yeah.
or within the Google Display Network, because there's so many restrictions on, you can't say hemp, you can't say, I don't even know if you can say CBD. I don't want to get, I don't know enough to get into the weeds, but yeah, there's enough restrictions to constantly have these challenges. And if you are a small operation, like you and your buddy run the CBD company, the last thing you want to do is put up an ad on Facebook. 2 days later, you get a flag, sorry, we can't do that. And you spend day in and day out trying to like massage your creative back into a acceptable format for them to take it. I mean, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
So we realized that we could take on that headache essentially for these companies. We have an entire team dedicated to figuring out the best creatives to use, what we've seen with other companies that work, the best copy that would work.
I love that.
Yeah. So and once we started seeing success, it's easier to attract more clients in that space, right? You start creating that collateral, those case studies, like look what we did for this CBD company, we could do this for you. And that's how you really grow that. Beyond CBD and I guess botanicals, we work a lot with EDU, which has been something we've done from the very beginning of the company. We do a lot with travel and hospitality, but so does everybody. Like that's just a vertical everybody touches, right? We do a lot of e-commerce, right? Again, one of those verticals everybody touches. Sure. I know one of the sales, I don't want to say pitches, but one of the things that they say a lot at our company is, if you have a shopping cart, right? If you have a checkout on your page, we can work with you.
Sure.
But that's, like we talked about, it's kind of an issue. If it's too broad, how do you market that? So for me, trying to find those new prospects through, I guess, internal marketing, right? Or trying to get inbound marketing is to really define those accounts and then only use collateral or use ads that speak to that vertical.
Okay.
I can't just say, like we're a marketing company that just works with anyone with a shopping cart and expect a bunch of CBD companies or owners or whoever to see that and be like, oh, well, that makes sense for us. We really have to tailor our ads to make sure that what we're saying makes sense, or that we're showing our case studies or client testimonials in the CBD world to those people. And we do that through Facebook and Instagram. We do that through our email list. We break it down. We separate our email list by accounts. So we're showing only them that we're the CBD focused.
Oh, that's great.
Right. Podcasts are the same thing, right? I did a podcast a month ago with an owner of a CBD company. And we're taking sound bites and we're using those as ads to really show, other people in the CBD world. And then even beyond that, again, like there's so much you can do with account based, but you take that collateral like a case study, and you try to get it featured on like an online publication that specializes in CBD, right? Trying to do some branded content stuff. There's just so much you can do, but I guess as I could just keep talking forever.
No, go ahead, man.
Just to summarize, I guess I would say is figure out your buckets of verticals and really take advantage of every opportunity you can to do account-based marketing rather than general evergreen ads, which, don't get me wrong, have their purpose and they're important. But if you want to really grow your inbound, that's how you're going to do it. You got to really speak to these individual industries and the people that are listening to you. But yeah, it's a challenge, but it's a fun one. There's no complaints.
Yeah, I mean that's marketing, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have that unique selling proposition, I think, in that you do work with CBD companies, because I think a lot of your competitors don't. Even like, I know you talk about Google, Facebook, and everything, but you like even in the programmatic world, OTT, and all that. I mean, we've seen a ton of companies like yours that just they won't touch it. So to me, that's huge. Does that impact how you prioritize which of these segments you're going to go after, given that or how do you prioritize that?
I'm still figuring that out, honestly.
Okay.
There's a lot that I take into account when figuring out what to prioritize. It can even come down to like seasonality, right?
Okay.
I'm not going to do EDU account-based marketing in the middle of the semester, or we got to figure out the times where these prospects might be looking to change partners. And a lot of that really comes down to data with past deals we've done through just outbound and cold calling, right? Like, when do we get this one EDU client? Like, when did that conversation happen? And then how many other of those similar conversations happened around that same time? Was it coincidence because the sales guy happened to just email a bunch of people and we got bites that way? Or did they not respond until it was time for them to like consider changing partners? So you got to really look at it down to the month almost. And then from there you can make predictions like, okay, these couple of months in the year might be when someone who does the marketing for an EDU company is looking to change partners. We got to be prepared beforehand. And then during those months, we got to really put a lot of our budget towards, those case studies that we have for EDU, or, again, we have webinars that we've done where we've talked to some of our partners in EDU, right? And we push that out as well. So prioritizing really comes down to seasonality and a schedule that you kind of create based off of data. And I mean, right now it's really just, we're guessing, right? Because we don't have enough data built up. It's still such a new initiative at our company, marketing. We're still trying to, do a lot of A/B testing and, figuring things out. But a lot of it comes down to when throughout the year you want to do it. We could run CBD all year. Same with like e-commerce, but everyone knows e-commerce, the peak is really in late October through like right after New Year's, right? That's when people are doing holiday shopping. They're doing last minute gifts. And then what's great, and we kind of figured this out too, is, and you probably know this, right? After the holidays are over, there's still a big spike in e-com spending. And that's because there's tons of gift cards and money out there that people gave as gifts. What are they going to do with it? They're not going to hang on to it until April. They're going to spend it right away while there's still deals going on. So, sometimes a lot of e-com brands put all their money and budget towards those months only. And then once New Year's hits, they're like, all right, this is going to be our dead month, but January is just as big. Like, you got to really think about all those people who have cash in their pockets, from their aunt who knows nothing about them, right? They're just like, here's $50, go nuts, right? So that's kind of how they have to think about it too. So we have to put ourselves in the same mindset as the people that we're going after in a way. We have to understand the challenges of these industries to really be able to market to them as well.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I wanna scoot back a little bit too, because you mentioned your sales team, and
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about a little bit what the relationship is like between marketing and sales. I know you mentioned you guys are a small squad on the marketing side, but
Mhm.
and how ingrained are you guys with the sales team?
We're working on it.
Okay.
I don't want to say, we're not at the point where we need like, therapy sessions yet. Like, I don't want to say we're not fighting. We're working on it. Right.
Fair.
Marketing is part of commercial. If you want to give it like just kind of a general department, right? I guess it would be considered commercial. Um, you know, Sometimes we find that there's kind of, I don't want to say an old school mentality, but we have a machine, a well-built sales machine already. Marketing is still, it's new and it's very small compared to it. I want to say we have 6 to 7 account executives and about 5 or 6 BDRs, right? So that's about who are just doing outbound, right? Constant outbound, cold calling, reaching out, through emails. So that's where a lot of the focus is. Our job is really to be sales enablement, right? Like those case studies, we want people to, we want to reach these prospects with marketing collateral, kind of plant those seeds, and hopefully get that inquiry, that reach out, which is, that's the goal, right? If someone like sees your case study, they reach out and say, hey, let's work together. That's like best case scenario. But a lot of times they may come to the site, we have a chat box. They might say like, hey, can you send me more information? And then we have BDRs take over from there.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of times it's really just them reaching out. As far as the relationship goes, we are testing some things for the new year. One of that is we want more contribution from some of the commercial team to marketing, as far as, blog posts or maybe some, I don't want to call them video diaries, but we've been testing out like, just a sales guy talking like through a selfie video, something very casual you can use for digital, about like, hey, here's some tips. Like if I'm an account executive who specializes in CBD, here's some things I've noticed, some trends for 2021, right? They would just break down some quick tips in the video and we post that. Just stuff like that, because as to have your marketing flow and to create all this content, it's got to be a factory. You can't have one person do it all. It's not going to happen.
Much. Yeah.
And I already take on a good amount here of stuff, and I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back or anything, but just to have other people contribute, and not just to like pick up work because I'm like too lazy or I'm too, overloaded, but to have their contributions as well as a collaboration, and not just, I need you to do X, Y, Z, but having them say, hey, what if we tried doing this as well?
Yeah. That's huge.
That helps because they're at the front line, right? They're the ones who have that initial conversation with the people that I'm trying to reach. I'm not really talking to, the business, owners or CMOs of these CBD, let's just say, I've been sticking to CBD, but let's just say CBD companies, right? I'm not having those direct conversations. They are, because they're reaching out to them. So if they're getting a bunch of no's and they've realized, oh, I'm getting no's because it's slow right now. It's a slow season for this industry. I need to know that so I can stop too. So yeah, like, trying new things, but it really comes down to, if you are on a marketing team, you really need to communicate with the sales team, because they have so much more insider information than you probably will ever, just because they're the ones who are making that initial contact. So yeah, really trying to harmonize better, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, they hear the objections, they hear the pain points, they hear oh, that sounds interesting. They get all that direct feedback. Whereas with marketing, a lot of times you're looking at data, right? Like you said, you're like, okay, was this because of, did it just happen coincidentally that they came in at this time? Or they said,
right?
You got to like dissect that. Whereas, listen, I called at 5 people picked up today, and every single one of them told me it's a bad time of year.
Right.
I mean,
that's something that like we need to know. Yeah.
So how then, given that you're kind of tying in with the sales team and everything, which I think is Awesome.
Mhm.
How then do you track your successes? Are you guys held to specific metrics of any sort of like marketing qualified leads, or is it because you're doing sales enablements, it's just, maybe some of their successes become yours by extension?
Yeah, so we do measure our MQLs, right? Our qualified leads. And we use HubSpot to do that.
Okay.
It's been a great part. They've been a great partner.
I love
Yeah, HubSpot's great. It's very easy to use. Recommend it for anyone who doesn't have or doesn't know like who to use for your marketing. HubSpot's great. So yeah, we've really tried to, through our Facebook ads, we have a one-click lead form that goes to the sales guys, and that's been our initial communication between marketing and sales, right? Like, hey, everyone who's reaching out has these bogus emails, right? Like john@spaghetti.com, right? Like, I'm not going to contact john@spaghetti.com, right? He's not a real person. Yeah, unless you're hungry, he invented spaghetti, right? Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, there's just like these bogus emails and they only put their first name. And, this is just one instance, but when they tell us this, we're like, okay, so we made it a requirement to put in a business email if they want to look at some gated content that we have out there, right? So we had a huge drop off after that. Not nearly as many leads came in, but they were a lot more qualified. So, you got to kind of pick and choose what's important and kind of test, because, maybe john@spaghetti.com is just a weirdo who just wants to read our stuff and has no interest in working with us. But maybe they're a CEO of a big company. They don't want to put their info out there yet. They just want to kind of like just read it and learn a little bit more about you. So, is it worth cutting out all those leads just for like the ones with business emails? Because some of those, Gmails or yahoo.coms, right? They could still be business owners. They could still be marketing directors who don't want to put in their company yet. They don't want to get cold called 10 times a day because you reached out to them. So they're going to put in a personal or a junk email just so they can read your content. So, it's really just trying to, it's different for everybody, right? It's really just trying to work with your sales team to figure out, was this the right move? You guys have way less leads coming in. They're more qualified, sure, but did you reach out to all those leads that you thought were bad? Did you actually try to make that contact? Maybe it was worth it. So yeah, it's really just it's just testing, right? It's constantly testing. As far as other metrics go, it's different for everything, right? With like the podcast, we measure how many downloads we get. We can't really see who's doing it, but when we do sound bites and put them into ads, we can see the click-through rate on that, right? Like see who's coming to, and then, follow from there. It really just comes down to what the content is that you're putting out and the platform you're using to do it. But yeah, there's no metrics that I have to hit besides the ones that I create for myself. So there is some discipline there, right? It's really like holding yourself to a standard to making sure that you're actually contributing something and you're not just like, I'm not just making socks all day, right? Just like different types of Cybba socks. I mean, I could do that, right? But like, I don't know, am I getting business that way? No, it's you probably relate to this, right? But the marketing team, you got to really prove your worth to the company.
Yeah.
For sales, it's easy, right? I brought in this client, they're spending $5,000 a month. If it wasn't for me, this wouldn't be happening. It's very like easy to see. With marketing, I could have put out a case study that somebody read in September and they're just reaching out now. You have no idea if what you did made an impact, right? But you got to look at it as like kind of planting seeds, creating this awareness, and then figuring out the best way to qualify that and to follow up to make sure that what you're doing isn't a waste of time, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, you're so right in that sales is so much easier, and then you've got marketing, which you can track a lot of things, especially in today's day and age. Like you can track very many things, almost like too much. Like a lot of stuff you gotta just throw out. But there are some things that you just can't track. Like if someone heard your podcast and then 2 months down the road decided to contact you guys because they remembered you, well, damn, they may or may not say at some point along the line they heard your podcast they might have even forgot where they heard you, so they can't even self-report on that, you know?
Right. Yeah,
Same
absolutely.
thing with those downloads you're saying of things, like they put in their personal email, and then later they call from or they email from they fill out a form with their business email, you know? Those things are so
Or
tough.
yeah, if they switch companies, right? Like let's say they're
Yeah.
working at, one e-commerce or one retail store, right? And they learned about you, but the company they worked for didn't have the budget. So they put in the back of their brain. I mean, I don't know how often this actually happens, right? And then they switch somewhere else, like, oh, I actually know someone that takes care of all of those services. Like, let me reach out. You really don't know. And I hope whoever's listening to this, like, I encourage you, please, if you hear my podcast and you just mention it, it helps us out so much.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, yeah, no, seriously, if you're listening, it's almost like you'll see some e-commerce businesses who have those when you check out, like, how did you hear about us, right? And you gotta click like, oh, through Facebook, through a friend or whatever. That's not for nothing. Like, they want to know where their budget is going, if it's actually being used appropriately, or if it's just a waste of time, right? If nobody ever clicks Facebook for like, where'd you hear about us, then they're going to stop spending money there. They can start spending money in the places that it matters. But then again, it's asking for a lot, right? I mean, it's hard enough to get a positive Yelp review at a restaurant. People are so easy to leave negative reviews. Asking for positives is really tough. But that, I mean, it goes so far in helping businesses of all sizes and all verticals, right? Like, it's just, that's you got to know where that money is being spent, if it's being spent well, so you're not just wasting money trying to get your name out there.
Yeah. Well, one thing it sounds like you have, and I luckily have as well, is belief in what you're doing. To me, as long as you're drawing attention to yourself or your business, I think that's the ultimate thing with marketing. Obviously, like, you need leads to convert, and you should be judged on some metrics without a doubt. But then there are other things that are really hard to quantify the impact of.
Sure.
And for those things, you kind of need like belief in whoever's managing you, and that you're going out and doing this, allocating time to it, and it's valuable time that you're spending on it,
right?
Though you can't quantify the impact of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I'll just use the podcast as an example because it's the newest initiative we have, right? I have 3 under my belt so far. We've repurposed sound bites here and there for different types of ads or whatever it may be. But yeah, you really won't know until you put more time into it. And it's a risk, right? At the end of the day, it's sad. A lot of people have podcasts. I mean, I might get like 10 listeners total. And it's like, why am I wasting my time doing this? What, not only wasting my time, but wasting the company's time and resources doing this. You have to believe that what you're doing is going to work, that you're going to reach people beyond those case studies or whatever else you may be using, trying different avenues and coming in at all directions to reach somebody. I mean, it's what makes it fun, but it's a risk. Yeah. But maybe the risk is fun. I don't know, but that's the best way I think about it is trying to, I mean, marketing is really just like waving your arms for attention, right? Like, look at us in a sea of competition. So you gotta make yourself stand out, while not being too crazy, because you don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, you gotta stand out any way that you can. So yeah, you just can't be afraid to take risks.
I love that too, because a lot of our audience are business owners or decision makers, managers, directors, things of that sort. And I'm sure they have people come to them all the time with ideas, or maybe our agency is coming to them with ideas and saying, we should try this, we should try this. And sometimes it's hard to say, you're going to see this exactly. And everyone wants projections. And of course we can provide them, but to say that exactly how something might impact, I mean, it's a risk, and they're taking a risk by trusting you and moving forward with that. So it's one of those things, like, you don't want to do the same tried and true things that you've always done just because you've always done them and expect out of them. And it's like, maybe we can just fine tune it a little more. Sure. Well, maybe you can. And I'm not going to say you can't, but at some point you got to branch out. You got to do different things. And it's difficult to know what to, which direction to go, what path do you take? But ultimately, to me, if you're choosing something you believe in, or something that, the person who's enacting on it, the person, something they really believe in it, and you believe in them, to me, that's huge. I think if
Yeah.
you're engaging in any channel where you don't have a belief, and even if you're not the one working on it, and someone else really does, but you don't, you're gonna be really quick to pull out of whatever that thing is the second that it starts to go bad. And I don't think that's, I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's a way to approach a situation like that. I think maybe don't even get into it in the first place if you feel that way.
Right. Well, I think it comes down to, that budget, right? The more money that you're spending towards something, you better make sure that you get that money back. So I think that's when people get scared. Doing something like a podcast doesn't really cost much. Right. I mean, I pay for this mic. Yeah. And time. Yeah. It really comes down to my time, which, I'm more than happy to work outside of my hours or whatever it may be, just to do it because I want to see it happen.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting point, right? Am I more willing to put in the work and effort to make this grow because there's not as much risk, right? If it fails, that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't spend any money doing it. I wasted some time maybe. I don't know, maybe I embarrassed myself in a way by being like, oh, you should check this out. Like I don't want to be another person with a podcast, right? But I think that's the best way if you're somewhere, or if you're doing marketing for a company where it's very new and you don't really have that, maybe that brand voice isn't even developed all the way. You don't really know what works for your company as far as like marketing goes, like how you want to present yourself in an ad, in your copy, right? I'm not just talking about guidelines. Like guidelines everyone should have guidelines, brand guidelines, language. Like that's easy. It's really about, like who we want to portray ourselves as with the people at the company, right? Like, you can have a Teams page, but also having people like contribute, like I was talking about, to, Instagram posts or whatever it may be. I think the best way to do that is really do those low risk things that don't cost a lot of money. Test the waters with some budget for Facebook ads or whatever it may be. See if you start to get some leads coming in that way. But like a podcast or a swag package where I'm sending out t-shirts, like it doesn't really cost much. So there's really not that much risk. And you can kind of see, okay, we're getting bites this way, or, oh, people are saying, oh, thanks for the t-shirt. Like I wear it to the gym, right? I mean, it's just brand awareness at that point. It's worth it. To me, that's worth the budget. Get yourself out there. I see this all the time, and it pains me. It's like some smaller companies who put a lot of social marketing budget towards the wrong, like I get targeted things all the time. I'm like, this, like I should reach out to you and be like, hey, like we can help with this.
I do that sometimes, man.
Do you? Does that work?
So I'll get HTML, very highly designed emails from companies where I know it's not like a sales guy reaching out to me for like a one-on-one or like a sequence. Like I can handle a cold email, that's fine. But when a business adds me to their email list of like, that I don't even know, like it's not at all anything that has to do with me. It's like lawn care or something. I'm like, I don't even have a lawn. Like, I don't know. So I'll reply to them. I'll be like, listen, I don't even know how I got on your list. I am not at all in your target market. Also, there's like a typo here and this part's all messed up. And hey, if you need any help with this, I work in an agency. I'd love to help you out. And they'll reply to me.
Really?
Almost every time. Almost every single time I get a reply. But they're always just like, thank you for the advice.
I did that once with a typo. I saw a typo and I'm like, and I wasn't trying to be rude. I'm like, hey, like I work for a marketing company. Like, we can really help kind of take this off your hands. Like, first off, I have zero interest in this product. And I don't know if anyone in my demo would have an interest in this product. So you're already wasting money there. And then you have typos in your ads. But I said that the most polite way possible because I was on the sales team at the time. And they responded with the mind your own business, which, and I was just like, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I should. But yeah, I mean, a typo is one thing, but if you're spending thousands of dollars going after the wrong audience, you really got to start small and test the waters before you start like putting all this money into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because you're wasting your time, you're wasting your budget, you're wasting your time.
Well, it's a good way to get feedback and without having to spend a lot of money. If you spend, like $200 on a boosted post or something and you get nothing, or you get comments of like, this isn't relevant to me. Well, hey, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
You learned a lesson.
Yeah.
Without
go ahead. Yeah. No, so that's actually a really good way for like smaller, like you said, like e-com brands, right? Instagram boosted posts are a great way to start. You might put out a post that showcases a product, doesn't get many likes on your page, right? Maybe less than 10% of your followers, which is always, you don't want that. You always want 10 or more. So you're like, let me boost it. I'll put $100 and see. Clearly, I don't have the right people following me, so I'm going to put this out there and get more potential customers. And it's just crickets. And it's at that point you need to objectively be able to look at it, as someone who's not, look at it as like a customer and say like, oh, maybe this picture sucks. Maybe the copy, in the caption isn't very good, right? So that's really good way to think about it. And then with that information that you get, you can, tweak your next post to kind of match that, to change it and be like, all right, let me boost this and see if it makes a difference. So if I start getting more likes, you really got to like figure out like what speaks best to your audience. And that's a challenge in itself.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, hey, we're coming up on time here and I don't want to keep you forever, but I do want to see the socks.
Okay.
You told me I might be able to see them. So
yeah.
For those who are just listening, not on video, he's grabbing the socks.
This is funny. It's like my isolated, room, so I'm not around people because of COVID. I'll try to do this away from the mic because it's so loud. But yeah, they're definitely a hit. I'm not recommending, if you're a company, to go make socks. It's not necessary. T-shirts are fine. I don't know. Happy socks seem to be successful. Bombas are successful, so I thought, why not? It's just a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just
those are cool.
Cybba, and then hold on. I don't know if you can see the bottoms very well, but one bottom says AdTech, and then the other, if you know Cybba,
different,
is MarTech. So we got AdTech and MarTech.
I love that, man.
Which is even that clever, but it just kind of summarizes who we are. 1 foot down on each. You got to be able to do both to have a successful marketing campaign, I think. So yeah, that's it.
Well, socks are a little bit trendy now, I think, or at least I'm just sort of getting in. A couple of years ago, I got in the sock game a little bit. So
yeah, you can't just have the golden toes, especially if you're under 50. Don't wear the golden toes. I mean, I don't want to say I'm passionate about socks. That would be kind of sad. I don't think I have a passion for socks, but I know my way around. Like, the sock game. So yeah, I'll send you some.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Email me your shipping address. I'll send you a swag package.
Oh, that sounds great, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Well, speaking of emailing you, if people want to get in touch with you, Derek, or they want to explore Cybba a little bit more, what's the best way to do so?
Yeah, so you can reach out to me directly if you want to. It's derek.sullivan@cybba.com. That's DEREK, like Jeter. And Cybba is CYBBA. If people are wondering what that name means, do you know where Cybba comes from?
I don't.
It's cyber, but with a Boston accent. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I actually like that. It's just like a little bit cheesy. It's like 10% cheesy, but I like it. I think it's really fun. But yeah,
I like that too. Yeah.
We're a Boston company, Cybba. So that's where it comes from. And then if you want to check out our Instagram as well, it has a link to all of our different channels. That would be at Cybba, CYBBA _HQ. It's a great way to kind of read up and learn about the company, see what we're up to. Just a really good showcase, everything from case studies and different verticals we work with to like a look inside our company and the people that work here. So yeah, we would love for you to check us out.
Perfect, man. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. This was a great episode.
Thank you very much.
All right, take it easy, everybody.
All right, bye.